Hey,
This is like,
we are back. So it's the James and Oris show. We are back again for another exciting episode of the show. Well, if I do say so myself. And like we told you from the start, this is what we do, an extension of the Grapevine or Smooth, where we get to talk about music and entertainment. And yeah, you know, radio is just 30 minutes. So sometimes what we just try to do, or what we always do after radio, is even chit chat about what we talked about on radio extensively without getting any form of, you know, restrictions. You know, here we get to say whatever we want to say for as long as we want. But hey, we'll try to manage time as well, because we see what's been happening from the past episodes that we'll be shooting. And yeah, basically. So it's James Silas
and it's Oris.
And it's Oris. So where are we starting from, Oris? What do you think? Where should we start from? Should we talk Tiwa first?
Yes. We should talk Tiwa. We didn't talk
Tiwa on radio as well as Tiwa already. So basically, I mean, you know what it is? Tiwa has a song with Ashake.
She does.
Yes. What's the title again?
That's my goodness.
Hold on.
How great it is. How great it is that I can't actually remember this.
Yeah, I'll get it quickly. So the song is titled. This is what I've seen. I haven't seen it too. What? This is from my listening.
That's it.
Is this it? Oh yeah. So the song is titled Loaded.
I'm loaded.
So Oris, I loved the song. Already I like, you know, they announced that, you see, they announced the song like 48 or 24 hours before it was going to drop.
Yeah, was it? Yeah. And besides, there was a video from Ashake with Olamide months ago where he was singing a part of it.
Yeah, so I was actually excited. I said, okay, let me see, because I know Tiwa is versatile as an artist, and you know, I always want to hear what she would sound. She had a song with Zinoliski. Remember?
Yes.
And then so she's one artist that I feel like can work with a lot of artists or different people, different sounds, and still sound nice. I mean, you heard that with Panther ranking back in the day.
With the Galileo remix.
Yeah, you know. So I was really looking forward to this song, and I liked it when it started. And because he even dropped with the video, so I went straight up to watch the video that was shot by TJ Murray, bro. And then when it got to Tiwa's verse, I think it was around the second or third line or something, and then she goes, you know, maybe sex tape won't, she said in Yoruba, they thought sex tape was going to destroy or, you know, ruin my life, but that she's still here, who never focus you know, I mean, yo. So that was just it for me, and I just felt like, man, bullshit. Why did Tiwa bring back this thing? Happened in 2021? Was it 2021?
I don't remember when it happened. It's been so long ago.
We have kind of. I don't know. I've even forgotten. I've forgotten about that particular incident, and then she has to bring it back on the record. Like, why it was so tasteless. You know what I always suspect, or what I always say about a lot of people who are popular, and who are also very maybe driven or motivated or just pushed, or I don't know, hungry for fame.
Okay.
Now you are now popular. I mean, this is what, and so whatever. You know, we have a couple of people who are always put in this category. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm judging, but I'm not really judging. I just feel like that's why I perceive it. There's the like of Bob Risky, the other guy James Brown.
Okay.
You know, it's a long list, really, and no disrespect, really. But I'm just saying that there are some people who are who are actually popular. Yes, they're popular, but when they see that attention is beginning to wave off around them, they just look for something very controversial, something very spicy to throw out there, and then boom, they're back in the news, whether for a good or stupid reason.
You think this is what Tiwa is doing?
I feel like that's what she did with this song. I feel like music, I mean, she did the song with Zinoliski did not really pop, did not really, you know, it wasn't hot like that, you know, it wasn't really fire like that. I mean, it was a nice song, but not really, it didn't really catch, you know. And then I just feel like, now I don't know how long, when it comes to the what's called disparity, or what's called timing of recording for both songs or these songs. I don't know when she recorded this particular record, but my problem with the song is the fact that,
does it feel to you like this song is a response to that one not popping?
That's what I feel. I felt like it was, oh, okay, this one did not really get the attention, or maybe am I beginning to fall? Am I falling, or are they not feeling me anymore? What is going on? And then boom, she goes ahead to throw in this verse or this line that's of course, got everybody. Now, right now, the song is number one, Apple Music. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I just wonder if, well, if Tiwa is that calculated. I don't know if she might be, you know, to have. I don't know. What I agree with, of course, is that, Madam, we have moved past this thing. Do we really need to remind everybody that you had a sex tape? We have forgotten. Just what's that thing? No this and no peace.
Yeah.
Just let it go. But why? Yeah, I just felt like so people are attacking her, I guess, saying she's supposed to be a role model, and saying something like that is like. I don't know if Tiwa
Kemi that actually started, or maybe not the one that started, but she really put that, and I think that was where.
Yeah, but I wonder about that. Has Tiwa really ever been a role model?
No, but that's what a lot of people,
morally
in Nigeria or Africa, a lot of people put a lot of responsibility that is not even down on them. You know,
yeah, so, I feel like Tiwa showed up right from the start, and one of the things people said about, and everybody knew about her music, was that the videos, especially, were kind of very sexual. Remember this? I think it was the first two videos she had. Love me, love me, love me, love me. And the Kele Love. Yeah. Both of them. She was dressed. How can you say that? Do you remember? No,
I mean, maybe costume. But
no. But Love Me, Love Me. Actually, it's she's saying in that song. The song is actually not. Love Me is like. She's. Let me let it go. Let
me explain. Love Me is undercover lover now. No. Where you're undercover. Yes. Where you're undercover.
No, that's Kele Love.
Oh, okay.
Those are two different songs. That's Kele
Love
Love.
Love Me. That's yes.
I know the Kele Love. Okay, you're making me sing. People are going to be like, Oris cannot sing. So that's Kele Love. But Love Me, Love Me, Love Me, Love Me. La 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 la.
Oh, that was a fire song. That was a lovely song.
Two of them are great songs. In fact, I feel like those are the two best songs of her career.
They're not songs. They're happy songs.
Yes, but I feel like the videos, when she came out, we didn't really have young women singers who were that clearly brazen about the way they appeared in public. About this in the videos, but she was very so there was all of this.
The song that really
remember again with Wanted.
That's what I'm saying. That's the song that actually when you talk about the sexuality,
yes,
or where people now saw Tiwa from a different line when it comes to.
No, it's not different line. No.
She became
I'm saying she has always been from the beginning. She was always. I remember when I first saw those two videos, I was like, all of us were like surprised. Okay, this is interesting, catchy song. But man, this is a very sexual outfit this lady's putting on. I mean, of course, she was younger, she was super attractive, she was showing skin. That's why, like, okay, what is happening here? And of course, she just came from the US at the time. So all of those things just combined to make her incredibly unique. So I'm saying that if you were thinking about Tiwa as a role model for morals, for success, I agree. For morals, as an adult or as somebody who has kids, I'm like, that is very funny, because I don't think that Tiwa's image at any point in time was ever pro morals in the way that the average conservative Nigerian thinks about it. Never. So so I understand if you're a young woman successful in a place that's entirely dominated by men. You know, so I understand that. But sexually, Tiwa has always been out there. Tiwa was one that had a song on her first album that had to do with in fact the entire song was about oral sex. The entire song. She always has lines from all of her songs that are specifically about sex. I have no issue with it, but I'm just saying that if you feel like a huge part of your morals is around sexuality, is around the sexual mores, you cannot be thinking of Tiwa as somebody who is like an example. Nah, she has never been, never ever been.
Anyway, who never fuck up us in the air?
But I mean, for her, I don't know. I think Tiwa is I just felt like, don't bring up this thing anymore now, because at the time when the thing happened, it felt like she was very heartbroken by the release. And then to come and be gloating about it later, just like, but madam, do we really need to know? We have forgotten about this, so just let it go. But I guess if it makes the song pop,
the song would have been nice.
Even without it, because Ashake's verse was really.
Anyway, we're not judging, like I said. Who never fuck up, hands in the air?
Me, I never fuck up. Please, my hands.
All right. Can we quickly talk about Burna Boy's
Burna Boy's
for the Marvel album?
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. So like I was saying, I said it earlier. I said Burna Boy has, I think, 2 or 3 or 10 modes, but I say like there's a particular mode of Burna Boy that not a lot of Nigerians know about. And he has 2 albums that I've always 2 projects, let's not say the albums, that I think are always important in this particular vein. These albums that are big of Twice as Tall, African Giant, those ones that have club ready records. But there are certain projects. There's one called Redemption, an EP after he released the second album, which people didn't really like, on a spaceship. Then he has another one with an American, I think it's an American DJ group called DJDS. Those two records, in my view, are top 3 or top 4 Burna Boy projects. But somehow they didn't really catch on here. Part of the thing, I believe, why that happened is because a lot of the songs translate into like club bangers. Nothing like that song, yeah, you know, which is like a complete club banger. So these songs are like more more sober, more reflective, more introspective, you know. So there's a song on Redemption, for instance, titled Premid, which is one I think people know.
Okay, Premid, yeah, I know Premid.
That's the song, yeah. Very good song too, but quite slow. Then there's another one on the same on the same record called Fasol Latido. Very cool, you know, but you really have to be somebody who is a super Burna fan to immediately identify both songs. If somebody mentioned them to you, if they mentioned the title to you, then the DJDS one as well, I think it was called Iron and Copper and something. I can't remember the name again. You know, but that particular record too, 4 songs on that one, also very good, but also in a very minor key. So I think that is the category that Alone from the Marvel soundtrack belongs to. But I also feel like because it's Marvel, this one probably has a chance of becoming more popular than those other songs I've just mentioned, because of course the power of
Still and Copper.
Yes, Still and Copper, exactly. DJDS collaboration with Burna Boy. Nobody seems to know that record, you know. Yeah, like I said, you probably need to be a real Burna Boy person to actually know it, but so good. So anyway, so to come back, Alone belongs in that category, and like I said, because it is Marvel, I think there might be a chance that the record becomes popular. And if there's a video, I think it will seal it, 1, and 2, I really hope at some point we see a live performance. Like I don't mean like in a concert, although that would be good as well, but I mean like in a kind of like a Jimmy Kimmel, a James Corden, Trevor Noah is leaving, but maybe Trevor Noah, one of those kind of shows where there's just like a small audience
where he gets performance.
Yes, like a small audience of people, and he's performing it live. So like a band, like he did with he did one with the other Jimmy Fallon. Something like that, exactly. One of those late night shows, something like small, intimate. You know, I feel like this song will just absolutely kill. Absolutely.
I actually see it more on the main stage.
No, of course he will do that as well. But I feel like what I want to see is I want to see him do it in a small, intimate setting. Because I feel like the song is so powerful that in that kind of an environment with the band playing, you know, like a live band playing with him singing, then if they get the atmosphere right, dark, maybe just like a single spotlight on him, I feel like it will be so good with great speakers. I mean, anyway, long and short is this, I'm a big fan of this song Alone. It's such a good song. You also think it's great?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of the it's for me the best song on the standout record. Not just the standout, it's the best song on the Marvel project. Yeah, for Wakanda. And then basically the song is talking about the pain, just sort
like
of enacting.
Song.
Yeah, it's a grieving song. Enacting what Boseman and Chadwick could have gone through in terms of suffering. From the whole cancer and the road to death.
Does he mention cancer on that?
He didn't mention it. He didn't need to mention it. But
yeah, like more like
he was talking about life. Like that whole transition from transition to the other side, basically. But it's what it is. If you've not heard the song, Google it, look for it. It's everywhere.
Alone, it's really good. Yeah,
Alone,
really good.
So let's go to. Can we talk Eleshin Oba, the movie?
Yeah, I feel like we talked about it last week, but
how no. So in this occasion, the Abudu's
reaction, not just her, because even the Emmy as well.
Yes, their people's their reaction,
the filmmakers' reaction to
how people comment and then criticism, or about the work or the film. So now, personally, after we talked about it, you went for the premiere originally.
Yeah,
and I was saying that I'd seen it on stage, I'd read the book and stuff, and then I was also looking forward to watching the movie and seeing how it was. I actually set a timer to see immediately. I got the notification. I immediately went to watch it, and I liked what's it called? The picture quality, the production generally.
It was
high definition. It was 4K. It was if there's anything more. You know, it was really, really, really beautiful to watch. You know, I mean, I wasn't expecting too much. I knew the story already. Everybody, probably people that have seen it on stage or read the book, you know the story already. But now, how was it now enacted, or how was it translated into cinema? Was the part that actually now I feel like brought about the questioning or the criticism that, you know, flawed the whole efforts, or, you know, or that flooded the internet. Now, I agreed with what I saw about. I mean, I didn't tweet or say anything about the movie on social media. I didn't have to flog it or whatever. But when I saw comments coming out, I agreed to a lot of the comments I saw. Now, yes, it didn't have a lot of. For me, it was some scenes were overflogged, some scenes were, you know, very flat. Even the conversation where I loved the part where the enemy showed up. You know, even you see, talking about the continuity in terms of the road to how the enemy showed up eventually itself, did not even, there was no fire to it for me. I just felt like he just popped out. It was like a stage play that was recorded nicely for TV. That's how the film looked. You know, the enemy showed up, and then he had that dialogue with the district officer's wife. Yes. And then there they went back. It was still very, very flat. And then after that, the father shows up, and then they had their conversation, and then he walked away. You know, and then next time, boom, he had committed suicide and stuff. I just feel like beyond trying to not touch or not go outside what Professor Wole Soyinka had done, you know, with that particular story, they really, really, really did not kill it as good as I feel or I felt that they could have done. I mean, this story is like an epic story. It's like something, you know, you're just telling a story of something that happened in the past. I felt like they could have added more flesh to it. They could have added more life to it. They could have added more, you know, a lot of other activities to it. Look at that part where he cited the Iyaloja's daughter, who was supposed to, the beautiful girl who was supposed to marry Iyaloja's son.
Yes, more like
you know, yeah, you know, and then the conversation of, I just felt like a lot of things were just too overflogged and unnecessary. It became boring. They could have just left it on stage. Let's keep watching it on stage. It would have still been nice, like any other story that they do, or any other of those stage performances. Now, if you bring this thing on stage, they've ruined it. I don't know why I want to go and pay to go and watch on stage anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You think?
No, I don't see what. Okay, what else are they going to tell me?
No.
And to think that the one I watched on stage, look, the actor, I can't remember his name. I saw it at Tiwa Culture.
Yeah.
The actor, look,
that's which of the
actors? I stood the lead act, the Eleshin Oba himself, the guy that played.
Who was Eleshin Oba in that?
I can't remember his name. But the guy was outstanding. Look, he was the guy. You know, when it comes to people that command, how do I put it? He was an orator. The way he commanded that scene, the passion. Look, I was watching it on stage and I felt like, whoa. I felt the story, you know, way beyond what was read back in the day, you know. But this movie actually, I'm sorry, it ruined it for me. But so I don't think. And then when it comes to literal work, when it comes to, you know, as a creative, I feel like you are creative because you should be able to handle criticism. People are going to criticize you, even as, I mean, we that are writers. If you read my work and tell me that no, this thing is, I'm not going to come and start arguing with you. I'll try to explain why I did certain, I said certain things in my writing, but to come and now be Atagoda fighting you because of you said that this thing, or
but they did not fight.
I'm not saying that for, but the fact that the thing is that when telling people that they were, you know, which I also tried to put in context when we were on radio, that maybe the context of what I'm trying to explain the advocate that uneducated is the fact that you don't know about the story.
She said uneducated in this work.
Yes, probably because you don't know about. If you knew the story, you're not going to feel like this about what was interpreted on TV.
But no,
you know,
that, unfortunately, she's wrong. Okay, that's not true, because
okay.
I know the story. I've known the story for decades. It doesn't change what I think about it. That's the truth about it. But the thing is, I agree that, frankly, not every audience member or not every commentary. In fact, commentaries are not created equal. That's what I believe. So I believe that there are people who speak about something, and you should agree. If I try to think about, okay, where are they coming from? There are also people who also speak about something, and I feel like, you know what, you are entirely correct to ignore insults or just say, you know what, you don't know what you're saying. I think those are valid responses. Now, the thing is, both of them, the validity will come down to the work that is being discussed.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm speaking now, and I feel like when it comes to things like film, things like books, I am quite educated. That's the truth. I feel so about myself, at least. So I can say that, and again, this like King's Husband, I've known it for a long time. Read the book again even recently. Seen maybe 2 or 3 different performances of it. Both 2 of them, I think, even in Lagos. I think in Freedom Park and also at Terra Culture. So I know this thing quite well. And when I say that, but I also know cinema. And like I was pointing out earlier to James and our co-host Shokwe on radio, I was saying that part of the problem here is the decision to have given B. Bandele, I mean, may he rest in peace, the directing rights feels to me like not a great idea. Just thinking about where he was coming from. Now, for people who do not know, B. Bandele is quite a celebrated novelist. I think he has a book called Burna Boy, which is really quite. It was popular when it came out at the time, and he's also like a well-known playwright based in the UK. So, but B's first major entry into, let's say, Nollywood was, I think, in 2014 or thereabouts, when he did the adaptation of, when he was the person who directed the adaptation for Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's
Yellow Sun, half a Yellow Sun.
Yeah. And at the time when I saw that film, I wrote about it actually, and I remember one of the things I said then was that he treats sets where things are taking place as though they are like artifacts. They should not be touched. So you hear a couple have been living in this house for 5 years, but when you see the setting where they are living, everything looks like it's untouched. The vase, nobody ever touched the vase on the wood that is hanging. The picture is exactly as it should be. The clothes are like they just wore it that morning. The chairs look like they just brought in from a factory. So that idea of like, and which is a problem because it's a thing that is kind of common in stage, because you are pretty much just arranging the stage while the audience is probably like watching. So everything looks like, are in place. But for cinema, where you're trying to create life as soon as possible, I think that you have responsibility to change or to effect more kinds of things that look like people actually living here. Let us make it appear that they actually live here. So, but B. Bandele's earlier work, enough of a made me clear, like, okay, this was a guy who seems to be not quite free from his own playwriting background. Now, to be sure, there are people who come from stage who are excellent directors, but most of the time they need like an excellent DP, director of photography behind them, and they also need to know that the medium has changed. So the example I always use is a guy called Sam Mendes. Sam Mendes won I think he won Best Director for American Beauty back in 1999, I think. And he was nominated last year, 2 years ago, a while ago, for 1917, a film where he shot like, it's obviously it's like a 2-hour film, but it's like in one continuous take. There's no cut there's no black screen at any point, it's just one continuous take. I think Sam Mendes is excellent. He adapted a novel actually called Revolutionary Road, which I think is one of the greatest I've ever read, by Richard Yates, and it had Leonardo and Kate in their second appearance ever on screen. Excellent film, excellent book, excellent direction. Now I feel like B probably needed more projects before he would get into the idea of like transforming a stage play into cinema. He hadn't gotten there yet. And now to helm something of this magnitude and something that looks like people were kind of hoping something more on, both on the level of both on the turn of the audience, we are just looking forward to having a showing car adaptation, but also for Ebony Life, which of course probably thought this was going to be like something that would
like a masterpiece.
Yes, masterpiece, and work out maybe internationally in terms of like maybe the Oscars and something and stuff. I just think that the issue started from there, and once it was B who got that in quote contract, they now needed to do more work with the screenplay in taking it from showing Council book to the big screen, or rather to streaming. But again, there was an issue there because B was the one who wrote the screenplay. B is a playwright, so it means that the screenplay, a regular screenwriter's mindset is probably not something he had developed. I mean, no fault to him, but I think that's something that probably needs a little while to like get into the groove, and I don't think he had. So having him now write it and also direct it kind of like robs us of a true cinematic experience. Like I said earlier, the thing just feels to me like, okay, great play, just being overseen or just being captured by great cameras. A place taking place and you have cameras viewing and everything, you know, and that is not what the cinema experience is like. It should be bigger, it should be grander, the scale should be like, you know, really large. But yeah, it just feels like you're managing expectations, putting something that's happening. I feel like when I saw it at Terra Culture, there was no difference. I actually even felt that, like you said, Terra Culture's own was actually a lot more powerful than the film. In fact, when I saw it, and I saw it with people who are quite, in quotes, educated, because most people who were in the screening I saw it were people from Nollywood. You get one of the last scene, not maybe the penultimate scene, the one with the suicide. I mean, I don't want to say it, but let's just go with it. The one with the suicide, with one of the suicides, people were laughing in the cinema I was in, and I was like, that is not what that scene is supposed to be about. On the one hand, maybe it's because Nigerians don't know how to, like, I guess, interpret whatever. But also the other thing is also about, no, I was saying, no, maybe the audience just missed it. But I also feel like also part of the fault is also about the creative choices that was taken by the Ebony Life crew and especially the director. Because to be honest, Ebony Life is almost free from blame in this thing. It's really about the director's choices, because they got Lance Gewa, who is one of the best DPs. He actually was on the only African film that has ever, maybe not the only one, but in recent times, only one African film has won Best International Film at the Oscars, as a film called Sotsi by a South African director called Gavin Hood. The person who did the cinematography for that film is a guy called Lance Gewa. He's the same person who has done this one. So you understand the kind of ambition they were going for. But you know, eventually the DP's skill set will be in service of the director's vision. And the director's vision is too small, as I think is the case with this. You're going to have a project like this where it looks really good, but it never really lives up to his ambition. Yeah.
So I think, let me just quickly touch on that part where the guy sort of took his own life. If you look, I mean, on stage, there's a different
way.
But look at the way.
I never even liked it.
Look at the way it was even enacted in the film.
Just ridiculous.
He just jumped and then that was it. And you know, he didn't even show any level of, like, I should be able to feel his pain. I should be able to watch and
that's why people were laughing, because they couldn't understand.
You know,
the emotion. Yeah, it was
last on our list is Hushpuppy. 50 Cent said his loading. What's I saying loading? You know, he's going to be making a series on Hushpuppy's story, more or less. I mean, Hushpuppy was given 11 years, and then was asked to pay $1.7 million to two people that were, you know, defrauded in the, because of everything that has gone down
of his actions.
You know, so but I mean, 50 Cent, as far as I'm concerned, or how I see it, has done, not done badly at all when it comes to filmmaking. I mean, look at what he did with Power. Look at what he did with the Power book, something book 2. Is it Power book 2?
Ghosts, Power book 2. I think.
Something, they were both. Look, they were intriguing to me. I watched everything.
Okay, really?
I was big on it. I followed it from A to Z, both series. They were fantastic to me. I thought he did very well with them. Now, on this occasion, it just sort of reminds me of what's his name? Pablo. No, sorry, the one for narcotics.
Not Escobar.
Not Escobar. El Chapo. El Chapo. This El Chapo story. That's what more or less what I'm expecting. I'm looking forward to. Yeah. And I think it will be really, really interesting to see how it will be enacted. First of all, I'm wondering what character or who would they use to play the role of Hushpuppy.
I'm sure they'll find one Oyibo guy.
It's slightly, deviating a bit, but still in context, is the fact that I feel like the media, and maybe even with the film thing, this telling the story or enacting this as for a movie is still glorifying. Because what's his name? The guy from Narcos. I keep forgetting. Why do I keep missing him? El Chapo, yeah. Was more or less, even though he was killed, he was a villain at the end of the day, but he was still like a superhero in terms of how he was
That is
portrayed.
Such a great superhero.
Yeah, he was still.
You're probably right. Yeah, I don't know.
Portrayed.
That's one of the problems that people have had with the media, especially in recent years. Actually, right from time, because I remember growing up. Do you remember Scarface?
Yeah, of course.
With the Apacino movie.
Yeah, Apacino.
I remember that back home. That's when I was really young at the time. My uncles and my dad who used to watch that film.
Yeah.
most of them were actually pro, what's his name? Scarface.
Scarface, yeah.
And that guy is not a good guy.
Yeah, but he was a super
Yeah, but exactly, but he's like
he played the lead role.
Yes, even when he died, I mean, I feel like for a long time people were heartbroken just by the idea that the Al Pacino character Scarface had died. So you are right in the sense that there's a sense in which the media, I don't know, they find a way to glamorize these really bad people and this criminal. Yeah, but the thing is, I wonder if so. The thing I always wonder, what has brought what? Is it that one, the media understands that people think very, in quote, highly about these people, and so they do something about it, or is it the fact that, or is it the media that has influenced us into thinking that way? So I always wonder, is it the chicken and egg problem? What came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm never really sure about it. All I just know is that when at the time the movie or whatever is released, it just feels like these people now attain this level of cultural importance. Like people are now like, but then that's why I'm saying I don't know if I can blame the media, because I also know that whenever that story comes into regular news, places like what's it called, like Instagram, and you see comments. You see people who are supporting Hushpuppy saying that why are they imprisoning him? Yeah. Why is he being whatever? That is not just he didn't kill anybody technically.
Can I quickly bring it to this?
So I don't know, man.
The Joker, for
media or the rest of us. Oh,
the Joker. You know, we saw what happened with Joker and Batman, and then later we now have we had the movie Joker, and then they just sort of try to explain how the Joker got to where he, how he became a villain. I see, but even. I mean, back to what we're talking about. Yeah. I feel like, yes, I don't know how they're going to interpret it. I don't know how they're going to tell the story.
That's just.
But I feel like, yes, the Hushpuppy story should be told. It's like no disrespect, I'm sorry. It's like a Fred Ajuja story, if you remember.
Of course, I know. Of course, of course.
Or Easy Ego story.
Of course.
Let people know what happened, or let people hear, or have, if you're young or you don't understand what has happened, let them be able to tell us when you watch it and say, okay, this was what happened. This is how this, But beyond or away from, adoring or glorifying the action or how the guy became who, or how,
I don't know, man.
So I don't know. It's fingers crossed for me. I mean, let's see how.
Let's see how it goes. But also, there was the news that Ebony Life, Abudu's company, and Will Parker, the American producer, were working on an adaptation of like the long report by, I can't remember his name now, but in Bloomberg.
Yeah.
I think last year or there about, So I'm now wondering if it's the same story that we are getting, or if in fact whether it's the same story but two different productions, whether it is the same production. I'm no longer sure what is actually happening. Because theirs seemed like it was a film. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think that's all we're going to take for today. Guys, subscribe, like, share with your friends. Let us know what you think. All the things we talked about today, give us your comments and let us know. We'll comment on all the topics that we've talked about. I mean, we talked about 4 things basically. Yeah. Just let us know, and we'll keep doing this as much as we can. And I'm James Silas. I'm Oris. Peace.
And we'll see you on the next one. Peace. Yeah.